Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining the webinar this morning. Copilot agents are licensed to thrill. We've just got people in the process of joining. We'll give people a minute or so to get in,
Yeah.
and then we'll get started.
Not sure who these two fellas are, but they look like they know what they're talking about.
Right, I suggest we get started, Ian. People will kind of join in. Everything is being recorded, and of course the recording will be sent out following the session, and it will be available later today on our YouTube channel as well. So thank you for joining, everyone. Agenda for today: we've got a packed agenda to fit it in 30 minutes. We're going to run through some slides. Ian's going to talk about shadow AI and the risky in business. I like that, Ian. Ian's going to talk a little bit about what are Copilot agents, and then we've got 4 demos coming up. So the first 2 demos are of agents that we've built ourselves, and then the second 2 are some of the latest agents available from Microsoft, really, really useful. And then we've got some time for some questions at the end. So if you do have questions, feel free to pop them into the chat. We won't interrupt any of the demos for questions. Ian will field those and we'll kind of wrap those up towards the end. Over to you, Ian.
Okay, I just want to quickly talk about the elephant in the room, which is what's been called shadow AI. There's some pretty stark facts and figures on the screen, which I'll let you all digest. But I mean, let's face it, people want to use AI in work, and it's mainly for good reason. 9 times out of 10, it's fast, it's smart, it helps people get more done. But what many don't actually realize is that using the wrong AI tools in business, the public ones not built for business, that can actually open the door to serious risks. We've actually seen this firsthand. Our customers, they're excited about AI, but they're also worried about what their people are already accessing in the way of unregulated AI, such as ChatGPT and DeepSeek, which is a relatively new one, but I'm sure you've all heard of it. And that's why here at Igloo, we don't actually just roll out Copilot for our customers and then just hope for the best. We do a full belt and braces kind of data readiness check, and we follow a fully secure implementation process. That means your data stays protected, all your compliance boxes are ticked, and your people can use AI confidently. So really, instead of letting shadow AI creep into your business, Copilot gives you that secure, integrated, and fully supported way to bring AI into your workflow without the risks. So anyway, enough doom mongering. This is Microsoft's vision for the future of work, and here's where it gets exciting. Think of Copilot as your personal AI sidekick. It's like having a supercharged assistant who actually reads your emails, knows your calendar, and never takes a coffee break. Now flip that to the business level. Agents, they're like AI-powered workflows on autopilot. They don't just help you work, they actually do the work. They're the ones chasing down the approvals, updating the systems, and making things happen behind the scenes. And the best bit is these two aren't working in silos, which we often get in business. Copilot and agents are fully connected. So while Copilot helps you get your job done, agents are helping your business processes run smarter in the background. It's not just AI at work, it's AI that actually works for you. So just want to talk about a few of the different types of agents. So you've got retrieval agents, and they're like data detectives, I guess. They fetch info from emails, chats, files, and SharePoint. They're fast, they're focused, they're always on point. So then you've got your task-based agents. These are essentially workflow bots. They automate tasks like reports, records, and meetings. They plug into your business tools and they keep things moving along. And then you've got autonomous agents. These are like strategic brains. They plan, act, and adapt on their own. It's not as scary as it sounds. These are great for big goals and complex problems. So that's a quick
they're
summary
really
of the
good
agents.
as well for a good scenario for an autonomous agent. So we're going to have a look at retrieval and task agents a little today. Autonomous agents we won't look at, but it's great for a scenario where, say, you're monitoring an email inbox. So you may have customers emailing in with queries, and in much the same way that you would give permissions to that mailbox to a human being to say, have a look through the mailbox, look at the questions, look at this information source and reply. You can have a Copilot agent which will actually sit over that, reason over the information, and then reply automatically to the emails. If you wish, you can get that fielded by a human being as well. So that's kind of a really good use case. I did just notice there was a quick question.
Yeah.
So have I missed most of this? The invite says 10 a.m., but looks like it's been running for 90 minutes. We did start at 10 a.m. Ian and I always jump on and kind of just make sure we're all ready for 15 minutes. So we're all good to go.
You've not missed it, Richard. Don't worry.
Right.
We need a demo. Let's go for it.
Yeah, let's go into a demo. So let me stop presenting and share my screen. Okay, right. So this is, for those of you who've got Copilot, if you don't have this new interface yet, this will be coming to you very shortly. Microsoft have changed the UI a little bit. They've moved the menu over to the left-hand side where I've got access to all of my various agents, my different conversations, any pages I've got, and then all of my apps that I've got across Microsoft 365 as well, which I've kind of pinned. The first agent we're going to look at, this is a really, really interesting use case. So I talk to our customers all the time, and a little while ago I was talking to one of our wealth management customers, and they were saying, it's great, Mark, we've got all of our kind of customer data, all of our client information within a CRM that we've got built in SharePoint. It's great. But sometimes when I'm in a meeting, particularly with a client, and they'll ask a question and they'll say, what's the current position on this? It's a little difficult for them to be able to get a snappy answer. They can get to all of that information in SharePoint, it's all there. But because of the way the data is structured, it's spread across several different tables. So they said to me, is there a way that we can just ask Copilot for that? Well, it turns out there is. So I'm going to go over to my customer investments agent. I built this so I can just ask it questions. So I can say, show me investments for, and I can enter the person's name. So show me investments for, let's take a look at yours, Ian. See how you're doing.
I'll stress these are completely made up.
They are completely simulated figures.
Yeah.
So what my agent is now doing in the background, it's connecting into my SharePoint-based CRM. It's connected to the tables where I've got where the data is held for Ian, and it's going to retrieve that, and it's going to give me a listing of that directly within the Copilot window. So you can imagine I'm on a customer meeting. They say, what's my latest position on this? There we go. It's kind of gone off to my CRM. It's pulled that all in. It's pulled that all in a nicely formatted table, and it's given me a total for the investments, excluding the retirement fund as well. So that looks kind of reasonable, Ian. I think you reasonably happy with those figures?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I knew this wasn't the end of the conversation because I thought there's going to be something else here, and I was right. And they said, that's great. Could we get that to produce a report for the customer, whether that's an ad hoc report or if it's their kind of annual report? And we know that pulling these together takes a lot of our wealth management customers. It takes them a lot of time. It's fiddly. And they said, Mark, is there a way we can get Copilot to do this? And I said, let me think about it. And we can, yes. So let me ask this agent to write a report. Okay, enter the name of the customer. Let's take a look at mine now. So I'll enter in my name. And I'm going to submit. And the agent's going to give me a response. Okay, once I'm finished, I'll send a link through to your completed document. All of this text is completely customizable. So you can get the agent to kind of respond with your own language. You can make it formal, informal, even include emojis if you want. Says this shouldn't take long, and it won't take long. So what it's now doing, it's connecting to that same CRM, it's pulling in that data, and it's in the background, it's producing a richly formatted document. And any second now, it's going to return the link to that document. There we go, perfectly timed. So it says, here's your report file. Thank you for your patience. Your report has been generated and uploaded to the Customer Investments Reports library. So that's stored there in SharePoint for me. But convenience, it's given me that link and it says click the report link for Mark Stamper. So I can click through into that. And here I've got a PDF. It's nicely formatted. Ian, I think I'm going to have to write a Copilot agent for us to keep track of our own little side hustles. We've got our mobile dog grooming business, which you've spoken about on previous webinar. Now we've got Igloo Investments. It's becoming difficult to keep track of all of these little side hustles. But you can see what I've done here. This is an annual wealth report. It's pulled in the person's name. It's pulled in data that I've given the agent within a template. So I've got the summary from the CEO of Igloo Investments, how we're changing the charging structure for the coming year, a thank you, the year in review, which looks at kind of global geopolitical situation, and then it's pulled in my portfolio summary, and it's given that by asset class. So I've got the current value, the previous value, all of that kind of useful information, and it's pulled in my payment records as well. Again, this is dummy data, and I've entered 5 months worth of payments into our system, but you can see it's broken down by date, payments that are made in January, February, right through to May of 2024. This is a really useful and a really key use case for agents. Give it a small task to do. One thing you should think of about agents, they have one job. Give them one job to do. Give them something that's small, something that's discreet. Don't try and throw the kitchen sink into it and get it to do everything. Give it one job and it will do that job very, very well. This customer who I'm talking about, who we've worked with on this, absolutely loves this, and I'm not surprised. I think this is fantastic, what you can actually do with an agent.
Now, speaking to customers as well, I mean, just something like this, which is it's fairly straightforward when we look at it like this, but actually can take somebody out of the business for a couple of weeks at a time if they're doing that for all your clients. So, this is just our take in it. Obviously, we build agents for customers, and it'll be their version and their formatting and the reports that their customers really want to see. But this is just a really good example.
Just a sample, and here it's produced a PDF. It could quite easily produce a Word document. So if you wanted to go in and kind of tweak it to get the agent to get you 80-90% of the way there, make some changes, then save as a PDF, it's still got you 80 or 90% of the way there.
Right. Well, that's good. What else can we do, Mark?
Right. Another use case. Another one of our customers. They have an employee experience platform. They have quite rightly structured their data, so it's easy to retrieve within Copilot. One of the solutions they have from us is our employee hub, which I'm just going to show very, very briefly on the screen here. A location for all employees to be able to go to understand everything they need to know about working for the organization. So I can get access to policies, I can get access to benefits, I can click through, I can read stuff. What we've done, we've written them an agent which allows me to talk to that site and get it to retrieve information for me. So I can say, what is the annual leave policy, the maternity policy? I'm going to come onto the Razor ticket with HR, but I'm just going to ask it a simple question. How many days can I carry over to next year? And the agent is going to go away, it's going to look in that site, it's going to analyze all of the contents of that site, and it's going to return me the answer. Yeah, we can carry 2 days of unused holiday over to the next year, and they must be used within the first 2 months. Okay, great. Now this customer, they have a couple of HR professionals who have their own internal ticketing system that they use when people want to raise queries with them. They have a system for that. It's great. It works really well. But they said, this is fantastic, Mark. Can we, rather than directing the person to go to a different place to fill out the form, can we get the agent to do that for them? Yes, we can. So I'm going to raise a ticket. I have some text prepared that I'm just going to put in here. So it says, presented me with this card, provide as much detail as possible, and then someone from HR will be in touch within 48 hours. I want to carry 3 days over, but the system will not let me. Can you help me, please? Okay, great. So I'm going to submit that. What the agent is now doing is taking that data, it's connecting to their HR system, it's raising a ticket with the information that I've provided, and now it's going to return a response to me, which is just done, perfectly timed. Thank you for raising your ticket. These are the details below. There's your ticket ID. There's the status. Due date is 2 days' time. Ian, this is one for you to pick up. So it's assigned that to one of the HR professionals. And if I wish, I can click through and I can kind of view that ticket information and check the status of it. Just a really, really slick way when I'm in this experience, thinking about HR, thinking about the policies, thinking about the benefits. If I want to ask a question, I don't have to change my context and go somewhere else. I can just do this all within the context of the agent itself.
Very handy.
They are our two custom agents. Next one I want to look at is the Microsoft Researcher. This is in what Microsoft, it's in preview. Most of you will be, who have Copilot licenses, will be able to get access to this. The Researcher uses a deep AI model in order for it to perform deeper level research than a standard Copilot agent can perform. So what I'm able to do, I'm able to enter in a complex question and it will think like a human being, and it will start pulling together the research topics. It will reason over them. It will structure it. It will iterate over that, and then it will spit out a more detailed report. There are all sorts of use cases for this. You could say, look over in internal data, look at Teams meetings, look at Teams conversations, and write me a report on the status of a particular project, for instance. One of the things I love, and I use this pretty much every day, is helping me prepare for meetings. So standard Copilot, you can say, help me prepare for meetings today or this week. And it'll look at it, and it's quite good. It'll give you a listing. You've got this meeting at this time. These are the attendees. These might be any related emails, but that's it. It's a very quick snapshot. What this will do will delve into it in a lot more details. So I can ask it to prepare for meetings for the upcoming week, or I can say I wanted to look at a specific meeting. So I've got a demo coming up later today at 11:30, and I'm just going to tell it to go away and do that. It will come back and ask me some more questions.
Well, prompts are key, aren't they, Mark?
Prompts are absolutely
Copilot and
key.
agents. Yeah.
Yeah, just like standard Copilot, the more detail I can put into the prompt, the better.
Yeah. So we need a little bit of theme music, isn't it, I think, Mark?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just going to pull that in. It's going to come back with a couple of questions. I'll usually just tell it to go ahead. It will then go off. Now, you might be used to using Copilot and having snappy responses. This can take 10, 15 minutes for it to return your report. I'm just going to let that run, and I'm going to show a report that I ran earlier today. There it is. I'm just going to tell it to go ahead. We'll just quickly see how it reasons. This is really useful. A lot. I use it if I've got a big customer meeting coming up, and we've had email conversations, Teams conversations, previous meetings. There are documents. I will specifically say, help me to prepare for this. Look at emails, look at Teams conversations, look at documents that we've shared with the customer, and it will delve into a lot of detail and pull that out. So it's starting to pull together research. You can watch it at all times as it's iterating through this. And after around 10, 15 minutes, it will spit out a response. I'm not going to make us wait. There we go. It's evaluating the steps. So it's one I prepared earlier. Actually, I'll look at here. Preparing for a demo that I've got later. I have anonymized this. But what it's done, it's given me some context around the meeting, the size of the firm, any kind of conversations that they've had where we're looking to improve our intranet experience, what the goals are of the meeting, the overview and the value proposition, things that they've mentioned, things that I should show. So as someone who's kind of jumping in on this demo, it's making sure that I'm kind of focused and I know the kind of things I should be talking about, what's been relevant in the conversation, This is amazing. I use it every day. It is like having your own personal assistant, which is what Ian was talking about earlier. Copilot is really, really starting to deliver with things like the researcher agent.
And that's just off a couple of detailed prompts, Mark.
That's just a few small detail prompts.
Yeah.
Again, the more detail I can put into this, the better. Final one I want to show you is another one from Microsoft, and that is producing plans. So I'm a big fan of Microsoft Planner. I know some of you are probably using it, some of you probably aren't. There'll be more on that in the future. I'm a big fan of project management. So what Microsoft have done, there is a preview agent which allows me to create my own project plan and get it to put sample tasks in. So I'm going to create a new plan. I'm going to select the option to have a plan with a project manager, which is AI assisted planning and execution. So I'm going to give it a name, dog grooming marketing plan. I'm going to put this in one of my teams. That's fine, I'll put that in there. And I'm going to get it to create the plan. That'll take a few seconds while it does that. Great. Give me a prompt. What is it I'm trying to do? Right, we're back to the mobile dog grooming business here. I need to put together a project to manage marketing via social media, getting a website up and running, and give away merch for promotional purposes. Okay, brilliant. Generate some tasks for me. So the Copilot agent is going to think about it, and it's going to start provisioning those tasks and put them together for me in a planner board. It says unknown language. Please try your request in English. I did.
Yeah, generally this time-consuming part at the start of a project is, yeah,
It takes a lot of time just
really
to
wants to
even
do.
think about, never mind actually executing the tasks. It's thinking about
Yeah.
what do I need to do? And you'll think about it, and then you'll look at the plan, you go, oh no, I've forgotten these 5 things. If you're like me, I'll put 5 things down, and then I'll think for each one of those, I'll think, oh, there's another 3 for each. And before you know it, I've got 35 different tasks. So having something like this, again, based on the detail in your prompt, is fantastic. So it's created my plan for me. I'm just going to have a look at my board view. So let's put these 4 tasks in: develop a comprehensive social media marketing strategy, professional website. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drag this and I'm going to assign to the project manager. Now what that's going to do, it's going to assign it to Copilot itself. So I'm going to click on that. What it's doing now, it's thinking about all of this and it's generating this content dynamically, and that's all going to be kind of generated in here for me. I can review that. When it's finished that, I will receive a Teams notification to say it's all done. I'm ready for review. If it needs some help from me or needs some input, it will kind of tell me that as well. That is amazing. I've used this quite a lot recently as well. It is a preview feature, but I've used it in anger, and it comes up with some really good results. And just being able to assign certain tasks to the agent and get it, again, not to do everything for me, but just let it think about my marketing plan, the things I should consider, the things I probably haven't thought about. Okay, I'm going to let that do its thing. Ian, should we go back to the slides?
Yeah. So we've seen some great examples of agents in action, but I just want to highlight some of the kind of real world impact on businesses. Some stats on there. These have been pulled from various leading reports such as Gartner, and also like a UK government digital services survey. So we talked about boosting productivity, cutting costs. So I mean, imagine hiring 187 people and not paying a single salary. That'd be great. That's what Honeywell pulled off with Copilot and agents. Vodafone, they gave their teams back 3 hours a week, basically a long lunch every Friday, and with 50% less workload, 75% faster responses. Copilot's not just helping; it's hustling. Can empower teams and elevate their work. So it's not just about speed; it's about sanity. the UK government survey found that people save 26 minutes a day. 82% of them said, please don't take this away. That's not software, that's a workplace revolution. And when 58% say that they feel more confident, that's a real culture change. That's not just code. It's built for your business. So Copilot doesn't just come in one flavor. It's more like a buffet. So Lumen Technology, they're talking about saving $50 million in savings within their sales function, just in the sales function. So, and another firm slashed project timelines by about 80%. And then, if we talk about 70% of the Fortune 500 who are already on board, the question really is not if, it's when.
When.
Yeah, indeed. And finally, agents that actually act like teammates. So these agents don't sleep, they don't snack, they don't take holidays. Company called Schneider Electric, they sped up their documentation process by 80%, and their users are saving up to 5 hours a week. That's not a tool, that is a teammate who never calls in sick. So, love them.
Some incredible numbers there, Ian.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, on to the next slide. So we talked a little bit about project management there briefly, and I have one more thing to show. Who's excited? So that's Cosmos. That's a new project management suite coming from Igloo very, very soon. We know that a lot of you struggle with project management. Some of you are managing it in not at all. Some of you are managing it in spreadsheets. Some are using other tools. You're struggling for a place to kind of bring everyone together into a project, find your documentation, look at who's assigned to what task. Cosmos will address that, and we have a webinar on the 17th of July coming up. Everyone on this webinar will receive the early sign up link, but it will be posted on LinkedIn and all the usual channels. So join us on that'll be 5 weeks today, Ian, 17th of July, I believe.
Indeed, yep. Send that out to everybody.
Very excited about that. Questions. I've had just a quick look. There was one very good question there. Do custom agents only work off data held in SharePoint, or can it use APIs to connect to third-party applications? You can build agents to connect to third-party applications, and there are many kind of pre-configured ones out there which Microsoft have provided. So there's Salesforce, there's ServiceNow, there are various HR systems. So you can use that to connect to third-party APIs. And in the examples that we've shown, they were connecting to SharePoint because that's kind of built in out of the box. But very good question. Thank you for that.
And they are custom agents rather than off the shelf.
They are the custom agents, yeah. The built-in ones, yeah.
Indeed. Okay. I think that's it for questions. So I'm guessing we just explained everything remarkably well, Mark. So yeah, no more questions. So
I'm sure there will be follow-up questions. So
I'm sure there will. So yeah, if you enjoyed today's webinar, you fancy a chat, you want to know more about it, then get in touch. Scan the QR code, fill in the form, and obviously we'll contact at a time to suit that suits you. Alternatively, your technical account manager, they'll be in touch within the next few days just to see if we can progress that conversation with you.
And that's it. We're down
That's
to
it.
the 30 minutes.
Spot on. 10:30.
Spot
Look
on.
at that.
Thank you for your
Amazing.
time, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's webinar, and I'll hope to speak to some of you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your day.